Hi, my name is Sarah Foster, and this is my fifth video blog for Brian Johnson's multimedia reporting class. Today I'm going to talk about the fifth assignment, some of my expectations, how I think it turned out as usual. I really like this assignment, especially because I got to tell a lot of stories about the Champaign-Urbana community that aren't often thought about. I went to the Refugee Center, which is inside a church in Urbana. I had never heard of it before. I never even knew it existed, and I don't think very many other people have either. It's in this small church in Urbana up at the top level, and it's really only about the size of a closet, maybe a big walk-in closet, but it's a teeny little space, and inside they have 4 workers when I was there who were helping refugees and immigrants get settled, and they were helping them fill out applications, how to enroll their children in school. It was really, really powerful, especially to see how passionate and kind everyone was, especially for being in such a little space. It was really a very awesome spot, and I'm so fortunate that I found something like that to feature for this assignment. So, a little bit of why or what I would like to what I wish I would have done. My interview with Deborah, I heard a little bit of feedback in the background. I tried to get it out, but it was, I think the mic wasn't close enough to her, so I had to raise it. The levels weren't bobbing around -12, so I had to raise the volume, which in turn raised the feedback. So I wish I would have done something like that differently. I think maybe next time the camera should just be a little bit closer. And actually the clip on the camera, or the clip on the microphone, the lavalier, it broke off, so I had to do something creative. I just got a paper clip, and I think I'm going to try to see if there's any options into getting that fixed, but I wish I would have done that a little bit differently. I was also really worried about some of the photos. I tried to get as many different variety of shots as I could, but since it was such a small space and there wasn't really anything action-packed going on, I tried to get as creative as I could. Like, I did a rule of thirds with some signs, and then one person over in the corner, like the third of the photograph, doing work and things like that. I tried to do high angle shots, I tried to do close-ups, I tried to look at the little details on the wall to try to find some things, but it kind of shows that it wasn't a super artsy heavy place, but I think the importance of this place should outweigh the lack of action that goes on there. I had never, no one that I had talked to in my class or around me had even knew that the Refugee Center existed, and I think things like that, that's the purpose of journalism. We're supposed to go out and feature the things that are so often overlooked, and even though there wasn't anything action-packed about it, doesn't mean it wasn't important to report about. So I really think that that was worth it in the end. And I interviewed 4 people, but the length of the assignment, it just couldn't render that much space. So I did some cutting. I chose to cut out one of the workers because I spoke to 2, the co-directors, and then I spoke to an immigrant. And I thought that those perspectives were most important, especially because they gave me the most material too. So I thought that was really why I chose the way that I did. I was also a little worried about my transitions in between people. I know if we could use a voiceover, which this wasn't part of the assignment, but a voiceover would have helped that, but I tried to make it as best as I could. I tried to give some space in between both of the sound bites and from the 2 different people. And then at the very end, I was worried that I kind of ended abruptly, but I tried to kind of taper off with the ambient sound, and I just let that kind of play for a few more seconds after the A-roll, or the interview audio was playing. For my ambient and my natural sound, I just specifically recorded one person speaking in Spanish, but then for my ambient sound, I just recorded what was going on in the room, and I caught a lot of activity that way because people were speaking multiple different languages. And so the way to incorporate the ambient sound, I just decided to overlay it underlay it with all of the interviews that I did. And I thought that was really important because it kind of set the scene, and that's why I chose to do it that way. Um, and in the beginning, I also chose to just let the ambient sound play just to set the scene, set the mood, like this is what's going on while all these people are talking, and then I went straight into my interview. So I chose to do it that way to set the scene. But for future assignments, I really hope to get better with the lavalier and get better with the audio recorder. I was watching it to make sure that it was bouncing back and forth around 2/3 of the audio meter, but when I went to transfer it into Premiere, it was still a little quiet, so I'd like to get better at that, and also making sure that I don't get as much of the little rustling of the room tone in my interview, which will be better when I have a lavalier that clips onto the shirt that my subject's wearing. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this assignment turned out. It was one of my favorites, and I can't wait to pursue my final project. Thanks for watching. This concludes my 5th video blog.